Jake, I never knew there could be so much learning to be had in one place. This Del Norte County Historical Society Museum is pretty amazing.
Hey, wasn't that great, Randy?
Yeah, I'll say so.
There's so much history in that building, and those people should know a lot about it.
Yeah, that's a great place. I'm glad you had the idea to come here.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what was your favorite exhibit in there?
Well, you know, the favorite topic, I would say it was at the Battery Point Lighthouse, but I didn't get a chance to read all the information on it.
Hey, speaking of that, you want to go check it out, the Battery Point?
Is it very far from here?
Not very far at all.
Well, I would love to go see the Battery Point Lighthouse.
Yeah, let's go check it out, Randy.
All right, let's go, Jake.
Hey, we hope you join Randy and I as we head down to the ocean and check out the Battery Point Lighthouse. Let's go, everybody.
Yeah, let's go, Jake.
Party on. Are you ready to see the main attraction? We're going to go check out the beautiful lighthouse. So follow me. I told you that was a beautiful sight, and we're going to go get up right close to that lighthouse. Randy seems to be in some kind of trouble. We better go find out what's going on.
What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to swim? You didn't tell me about this, Jake, that we have to go through the ocean to get to the lighthouse.
Oh yeah, Randy, I forgot to tell you. You have to check the tide before you come out here. So you watching, before you come out to the Battery Point Lighthouse, you got to make sure you check the tide levels. Hey, you know what, Randy? Let's go hang out at Seaquake. They got some great food over there. Want to go eat and then we'll come back later? Okay, let's go, Randy.
I'm so disappointed, Jake. I wanted to see the lighthouse.
Randy, you just got to wait. That's part of nature. You just got to wait for it to go out, the tide to go out so you can get out there. But there's not a lot of things to do here in Crescent City. There's things to look at and everything. You just got to be patient. That's all, Randy.
All right, let's go wander around Crescent City a little bit.
Yeah, let's go to eat first.
All right.
After a great lunch at Seaquake and looking at all the attractions around Crescent City, California, we're ready to head on back to the Battery Point Lighthouse. Hopefully the tide is still low so we can get out to it. All right, let's go catch up with Randy and check out the lighthouse. Well, it looks like we're at the lighthouse here. We're going to go up the hill. But there's one thing you got to worry about. You don't want to get trapped out here, because if you get trapped out there and the tide comes in, you could be out there for hours and hours and hours and won't be able to get back. So you got to be really careful and plan before you come out here. So let me catch up with Randy and we'll see you at the lighthouse. Randy, just look at the view. While Randy's out exploring, I'm going to tell you how Battery Point got its name. Back in 1855, the ship called the America caught on fire and was destroyed in the harbor. But they managed to get 3 cannons from that ship. And they put these 3 cannons on the north end of where the harbor entrance was. And every 4th of July, they would fire these cannons. And over the years, the cannons have disappeared. That's how it got its name, because of the cannons. Battery Point. So we're gonna go find Randy and yeah, we'll go check things out. Come on. Hey Jake, come over here. Okay, this is the west side of the lighthouse. I bet you this is where the lighthouse keepers used to sit. Look out here at this amazing view of the ocean and the mountains, and I bet, is that what this west area was used for, Jake? Randy, there's much more than just the view. There's a lot of history on the west side of this lighthouse. Back before 1879, they actually built a wooden structure here on the wall, and it was a lean-in kitchen. And on the lean-in kitchen, they had this roof, and a giant wave came up. It was a rogue wave, and it hit the roof, the chimney, and the chimney fell to the ground, and inside the stove fell to the ground. And the stove lit the lighthouse on fire, the kitchen floor. And the lighthouse keeper, his name was Jeffrey, and he was trying to put out the fire. And he had a hard time. He was beginning to panic because the flames were getting higher and higher. But one miracle happened. Guess what? Another wave hit, went through the chimney hole, and doused the fire, and it saved the lighthouse from burning down. So it's amazing how nature works, isn't it, Randy? Well, there's a lot of history, so we need to look around some more, Randy, and I'll tell you more about it. Come on.
It's a good thing I wore my sunglasses, Jake. This building is a blinding white color. Was it always that color?
No, it wasn't always white. Randy, when they built it, it was like a stone color. And then right before 1879, it turned to a buff color. And then after that, 1879, they actually painted the whole thing white. And it's been white ever since. I think it's beautiful, Randy. I mean, it just stands out. It's unique. There's no other place like it, Randy.
It's a beautiful place. I'm agreeing with you there, Jake. So you guys show me some other areas of this place?
Yeah, come on, let's go look around.
All right, I'll follow you, Jake.
Now, Jake, what really strikes me is how far up above this tower is so that the ships at sea can see it. It's significantly higher than the level of the ocean.
The fact is, Randy, the ocean did reach up there, and it broke out 3 windows, and water was on the inside of that tower up there. Look how high that is, and yet the ocean reached it.
Oh, that must have been a one rogue wave, Jake, that crashed up there.
Definitely. And one thing, Randy, the ocean is very unpredictable. So you gotta be really careful. And also, when you walk on that jetty, be extra careful. I wouldn't even walk on it. Anyway, let's go look around some more, Randy.
Yeah, let's go, Jake. Hey, Jake, it's like they're bringing a little artistry into this whole thing out here. These must be crab buoys and other floats that washed ashore here off of the Battery Point Lighthouse. How clever, instead of throwing them out, they just hang them here as an art display. Yeah, oh, you know what else is great about this spot? I got a great view right here of the lens in that tower. I can see it really well through here. You know anything about the lens?
Randy, us Timberlane brothers sure think alike, don't we? Yeah, I can tell you about the lens. I learned it about at the museum. Okay, in 1907, the lens was replaced, and the light that comes from it used to blink every 90 seconds, but they fixed it, they remodified it, and now it blinks every 15 seconds, okay? And then in 1953, they changed the lens again, and the lighthouse became automated. And then the Del Norte Historical Society took control of the lighthouse, and they control it to this very day. And they maintain everything out here, and that's about it. But Randy, we got a lot to see. Come on, let's go look around some more. We can't be talking all day. Let's go, Randy. Randy found some kind of a platform. What do you got there, Randy?
Well, Jake, you're not the only history buff. I read the little plaque they have out here. This was a water tower built in 1907, and it was built up high on this island like this so that it could supply water by gravity flow to the first bathroom in the lighthouse they built around the same time on the west side of the building. I guess they wanted running water in their bathroom. I don't know why they need running water in their bathroom. I don't have any running water in my outhouse. I guess they needed it. And eventually it just sort of disintegrated, but this was the original water supply source for the Battery Point Lighthouse. Right here, Jake.
Hey, Randy, since you're on this high point, it kind of reminds me of something else that happened here. March 27th, 1964, there was a big earthquake in Alaska, and it caused a major tsunami that hit Crescent City here. It was a horrible tsunami, Randy. 11 people died, 21 boats were destroyed, and 91 homes here in Crescent City were damaged. It cost $15 million in damage all over town. But did you know there was a couple here that was in the lighthouse when that happened?
Well, gee, Jake, that must have been real scary for those folks who live in here at the time.
Yeah, what I learned about the Historical Society is her name was Peggy, and her husband's name was Clarence. They were in here in the lighthouse, and she had to get up to go to the bathroom real early in the morning, and she looked out and she noticed the tide was really, really high, so she was kind of scared. So she woke up her husband Clarence and said, "Hey, look at the tide out there. What's going on?" So Clarence woke up, they got dressed, they came outside, and they saw waves hitting the shore, like really bad. So they turn around, they look, and they see this big wave coming towards them. And they were so frightened, Randy. They said, "Well, let's run up to the tower, try to get away from it." But it was too late. The big, huge wave passed right beside them on each side, and it went and crashed onto the shore. And after that, they said nothing but chaos happened. They said lumber was floating all over, cars were all over. They saw trees moving with the water current. They didn't know what to do. They said it was like a huge explosion. And the explosion was, they said it's nothing they'd never seen before. And after that, there was some Texaco fuel containers, and they burst and the flames shot into the air. And that's how they witnessed it all. And you know, Randy, you want to know something really weird about that whole thing? When all the debris are going out, flushing out into the ocean, being pulled out, houses, cars, debris, trees, everything else. After everything was said and done, you'll never guess what showed up on the island here. A lavender spool of thread. That was the only thing they found. After all the debris passed them, that was the only thing that showed up after everything was all said and done. And it took them years to recover this town. In fact, probably some places have never recovered since then. But it caused $15 million in damage. And it was a big hardship for this town. It was a deadly force of nature, and it did happen. And there might be other ones that hit, so the town has to be prepared. So they got all kinds of drills and everything. They're on top of it, but there is going to be a big one to hit someday. And that's what I want to tell you about, Randy.
Gee, Jake, that is quite a dramatic story. I am somewhat familiar, though, with the Cascadia Fault. On average, here on the North Coast, a megaquake slams this coast every 500 years. It's been doing that for the last several 100,000 years. Well, the last one occurred a little over 300 years ago in 1700. It was a major megaquake. It caused massive damage all on this coast. So, on average, in about another 100, 150 years, we get slammed with another one, although it never hits exactly on the average. And when it does, the land can drop 4 to 6 feet in some areas. It can raise up dramatically at once, and pretty much anything standing will get completely leveled by it. Though, Jake, all this talk about tsunamis, and I'm kind of worried about the high tide coming in. Maybe we should seriously consider getting off of this Battery Point Island and getting back on the mainland. And when we get back, we could maybe head to some high grounds in Crescent City. Okay, Jake, let's go. Let's get out of here. That high tide might be coming in, Jake. Let's go.
Randy, just look at the view. You won't see anywhere else in the world with a view like this of a beautiful community and a beautiful town and a beautiful atmosphere. Fresh air, nice people, and a great place to be. Crescent City. What do you think, Randy? You like the view?
Yeah, I would say there's certainly a great deal of variety. There's everything from crashing waves to these rugged rocks. You could see even the redwood forest off in the distance in the mist.
And even elk. Elk are all over the place. And ferns grow like weeds, Randy.
Yeah, and this island itself is covered with wildflowers here in spring.
And not to mention the 4th of July, the biggest in the whole state.
That's coming up.
And the giant redwood trees. You can't find those anywhere else like up here.
Well, I'm sure some folks that live here do appreciate this area. If they don't, all they need to do is come up here and take a look around at all this beauty that surrounds us, Jake.
Oh, it's beautiful, Randy. So what did you think of the lighthouse, Randy?
Well, Jake, I got to tell you, it takes a lot to impress me, and I am impressed with that lighthouse. Thanks for taking us there.
Yeah, that was fun. Anyway, you want to head back?
There's been so much excitement today, I think it's time to head back to the cabin so we can relax.
And Randy and I both want to thank you for joining in and watching our video. We have more on YouTube, and we hope you check them out. In the meantime, we got to head back to the Timberlane Ranch tucked deep in the redwoods. So we'll see you next time. All right, have a good day, everybody.
Let's go, Jake.